on the intake manifold on the GT6. I've got a clamp at the table, so it's going to be really hard to show you, but on these older motors, for whatever harebrained reason, they put a coolant passageway through the top of the intake manifold. Now, nowadays, cold air intakes are all the rage. So, this is like super corroded anyway, and I have zero desire to tie my coolant line across my intake. So we're going to remove it. There was this large juncture on this side of the manifold. That's why it's clamped to the table. I was trying to loosen it, and it's so corroded it just twisted off into a hot mess. So we're going to take a cut-off wheel and cut off the remaining tubes, polish it off with an abrasive wheel, and then get ready to paint this intake manifold so it can go back on the car. The last step, at some point I'll drill and tap these so that I could put nice brass fittings in there if I ever decide to run coolant across the top of the intake manifold again. Let's throw some sparks, shall we? I forgot hearing protection. Let's throw some sparks, shall we? I'm going to put all this in a bucket and we're going to weigh it, see how much weight we saved. Probably not much. So we're going to shift gears here, go to like a Scotch-Brite pad, just polish it off so it doesn't look like someone took a cut-off wheel to it. There it is, nice and finished off. So there's plenty of meat there. Somewhere down the road I can go ahead and drill into that, tap some threads, put a brass fitting on there. Beautiful, beautiful. So, as part of our refresh on this car, we're going to put together our cooling system. And because we're coming into summertime, it's going to be a minute before it gets hot and I need to worry about a heater. We're actually going to plug off all of our coolant passages going back to the heater. You get enough heat from the engine and stuff as it is, so it's kind of a little excessive to get extra heat. Some of the other things that we've done is bypassed the coolant line that would run through the intake manifold. I don't know. I'm sure everybody has their own opinions on that, but this is not a cross flow head, so our intake is already on the same side of the motor as our exhaust. So we probably already have plenty of heat transfer going there. If I get real ambitious down the road, I may build some kind of heat shield for it. But anyway, so we've bypassed that. We're going to plug off all the heater hoses. It's getting a new radiator hoses, thermostat, all that jazz. So hopefully it'll be a little happier. Haven't done any internal work to the motor. It's all more or less cosmetic. We've just cleaned it up, degreased it, painted stuff. Trying to make it a little prettier. Okay, I thought I had the hardware, but apparently I haven't dug it up yet. So, what else? What else is there to discuss? Yeah, I ordered a bunch of parts. So we do have lots of new parts to put on this. We're really getting down to the wire, which is starting to settle in as a reality. It's going to be a big push, but hopefully by the end of tonight, early tomorrow, an engine run, and hopefully run well. We're definitely trying to streamline this. There we go. Beautiful. I'll pop these back on just for funsies. And we'll slam on the water pump. Don't trip over everything in the process. This is always the most exciting and the least exciting part of the process, because, or I should say most exciting and most heartbreaking, because you're so close yet very far away. It seems like you could have this thing done any minute, and you just keep finding more and more and more and more and more things that you needed to do before it's to that point. And it's very deceptive, because you think you got it, and there's always one more thing, it seems like. It's been a while since I've actually put together a project car, so this is kind of oddly reminiscent of days gone by, if you will. Always that 11th hour push, though. That's a familiar thing. So like 90% of the hardware I'm putting back on this is still a little crusty. I did degrease it all, but it's definitely not schmancy chrome plated. But what I will end up doing before the end is kind of going back through with, oh darn, with some touch-up paint, less pretty hardware. See, I wore gloves for the whole thing, and then right at the end I take them off and I get my hands covered in goo. Alright, now we're going to cinch this baby down. And aside from a few plugs, I think we got most of our cooling system put together. So then I can shift gears and probably try to get the carburetors put together next. I think an assortment of plugs, but I don't know if these ports are a tapered thread or not, so that's still something I'm going to have to investigate. because there's a lot of ports. I think I've got 3-4 places I got to plug in order to adequately bypass the cooling system. So we're going to try getting the poo on me. One thing I love about these cars, what car can you put a water pump on like this? I mean, it's wonderful. Got this nice built-in chair. Tank is going to be a big hurdle, and the exhaust is going to be a bigger hurdle. A few long poles in the tent, as it were, but maybe it. Water pump, thermostat housing, thermostat, that's all in. This hose is going to be interesting to put on though, because it's kind of short. There we go. I'll leave it like that so that I can get hose clamps. Voila! Oh darn.